It's been a while since we've had this many people in the sanctuary. A little nervous. You guys ready? Yeah? Ready? Okay. Shabbat Shalom and Baruchim Habaim. Welcome. We welcome family and friends who are with us here in the sanctuary. We welcome people who are joining us from near and far over the Facebook and YouTube and all of those virtual methods that we've now come to expect as we celebrate Shabbat together, as we celebrate our confirmation class, as we come together in prayer. Each of the people here in front of you, these men and women in white robes, as is traditional, has shown their commitment to the Jewish faith and also to their Jewish heritage. And they come here this evening to publicly confirm their place in the chain of Jewish tradition. And as a symbol of that commitment, we welcome them. We welcome you, Mia Briseno, Patrick Farley, Max Mansfield, Riley Miner, and Aaron Rosendorf, as you lead us in prayer this evening. We begin as we welcome Shabbat, the joy and the sweetness that Shabbat represents. We turn in the prayer book to page 20 for Lecha Dodi.
Multiferet velitchila lecha dodi likrat kala nei Shabbat Shalom, ateret balagam besimcha, uvetzolatoch emunei am segula boi chala. Ligrat kala nei Shabbat nekabela.
We remain standing as we turn to page 2 and 3. On page 3, we read from the middle of the page. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehalig ner shel Shabbat.
Page 28. Page 28. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorah. Baruch Adonai HaMevorah, HaMevorah le'olam va'ed. HaMevorah, HaMevorah le'olam va'ed.
We read together from the top of page 31. Page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Thank you. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivteha b'veiteha uvlefteha vadere, uvshofbeha uvkumeha, ukshartam leot al yadeha, v'hayuletetafot beineneha, uktavtam al mizuzo beiteha, uvishareha, leman tiskeru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim el Elohehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem, asher hotzei me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lahem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohehem.
We sing together on page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace. Raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chayim. Uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha, uvros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from our harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Please rise and turn to page 46.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 sfatai tiftach. Na 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 ofi yagi. Ofi yagi tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 sfatai tiftach. Na 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 ofi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel hasadim tovim, vekonei hakol, vezocher hasdei avot veimaot, umevia gulag livnei v'nehem, leman shemo ve'ahava, melech hozer umoshia umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Etzrat Sarah.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מהלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונה טוב לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיע ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך hakol.
Ata kadosh, shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated as we take a moment for silent prayer and reflection. Page 62, A Prayer for Peace.
Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael.
As we pray for peace, we ask God to make peace here on earth as God makes peace in the heavens. We recognize at this moment in our service that there are those in the world without the peace that comes with wellness, the peace that comes with their health. If there is somebody you are thinking of and you are with us virtually, I invite you to share the names of those you are praying for as we pray for those who are ill. I'll offer the names of those that we are thinking of as a community and then invite anyone who has a name to add to offer that name thereafter. We pray for healing for Donald Weinberg, Jesse Bilal Ledeboer, Jim DeRoss, Chaya Elon, Andrew Shapira, Johnny Guillen, Steve Kerner, Lloyd Skip Kerner, Nina Alvin Martinez, Elsa Smith, Mark Levin, Lloyd Gerard, Sherry Weinstein, Michael Railanu. And to their names we add. We sing a prayer for those who are ill, and we include in our thoughts all of those who are stricken with coronavirus and illness of any kind, as well as those who are suffering from violence and terror in Israel and around the world.
Yararai, 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 rai, rai. Yararai, 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 rai, rai. May it be your will that we will heal completely whole, body and soul. And may we hear your love through the fear we understand. We're in your hands. Yararai, 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 dai, dai. Yararai, 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 dai, dai. May we have our share of future life, and may this prayer bring more light. Yararai, 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 dai, dai. Not me alone, Yehi Ratzon. May it be your will that we heal, but me alone, Yehi Ratzon. Yararai, 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 dai, dai. Yararai, 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 dai, dai.
This time I'd like to welcome forward Iran Brown, the Floyd S. Fearman Temple Mount Sinai Religious School Director.
Shabbat Shalom. I have a few words for them, so I'll try this. Days like today, I am so very proud for the work that we do here as a congregation. We are excited and proud of your commitment at Temple. I've known you before, but I got to know you even better when I become a religious school director and see you all grow and mature through your Jewish education. It's been something to see. Your devotion and commitment, this current pandemic couldn't even get on your way across to the finish line. To see this happen in front of our eyes tonight, we are just so excited to not only celebrate with you, but to follow you through your next step in life, be in college, university, or your next job. We'll be excited to hear and to know that you will come to visit Temple as you continue your exciting journey. Know that your work at Sunday school has planted a seed in our little ones, as I hope we planted a seed on you. Know that Temple is your home, and we'll always be here to support you, always. Thank you.
As was just mentioned, you've gone through one of the most challenging experiences of many generations over the course of your high school career. And yet, you find yourselves here, committed to your Jewish identity, and willing to step forward and to step up and put that traditional white robe on to celebrate your confirmation. A year late, a year delayed. But I'm so proud because I know that this year has not been a wasted year. This year has been a year of incredible learning and growth about how crazy the world can be and how to maintain your values and your identity despite whatever the world might throw at you. You have been an inspiration to all of us, and we are so proud to be here as you confirm your commitment to your Jewish heritage and to Jewish tradition. I'd like to welcome each of you individually to share a little bit about what you've been thinking of, some of your words which you've prepared this evening. We'll start with welcoming Mia Briseño forward.
My previous years within Temple will always be treasured memories within my heart. I will never forget playing tag with all my friends, doing little worksheets, studying for our bar and bat mitzvahs together, and aiding teachers in their classes. Even COVID was unable to separate the bond that I have with my friends and the amazing community of students, parents, and teachers. I'm so proud to be here today and proud of everyone that's pushed through these hardships and setbacks that life has given us for the past year. To be confirming myself here today, I have now confirmed my commitment to Judaism not only to myself, but to the community. To all the students who have yet to celebrate their bar bat mitzvahs, and to those who are unsure that they should stick around, I hope we inspire you to continue in your Jewish studies. Learning, teaching students, staying involved, and helping others have helped me shape my religious identity. Even if you are confused and maybe even if uninterested, it never hurts to learn about the important values and academic knowledge that Judaism has to offer. My connection to Judaism has honestly helped me live a more meaningful life. I have learned to spread kindness to others, be more selfless than selfish. I've also been able to make others feel at home, welcoming them and making sure everyone is all right. To be able to juggle this event with school and work, it was all worth the tough grind and effort in the end. I'm so proud to be friends with such lovely people. Max, Riley, Patrick, and Aaron. Derek, Ben. I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for us all.
Patrick Farley.
Confirmation. A final. Do you want me to speak louder? It's my grown-up voice. Confirmation. A final look back at my years at Sunday school. Endless sermons, and finally working as a Madrahim. I have no regrets about the time I've spent on those early Sunday mornings. Rabbi asked us 3 questions. The first being, what does confirmation mean to you? And to put it simply, it's nothing but that, a confirmation. But not a confirmation of my own faith, but to those around me. After the highly philosophical, hilarious lunchroom meetings, where I finally realized that Judaism was no longer the religion of my elders, but my own as well. So for confirmation, has merely been an announcement for me, something that I've known for a long time. The second question is how do you hope to inspire other kids during confirmation? But honestly, I believe that inspiring kids has to happen during your time as a Madrahim. And with that, I hope they learn from me 3 things. That all good things will come true in time. Life is a winding river that will push you to where you need to be. And finally, that life is not a race. So sit back and enjoy the small things. If I've had any influence in or around the students, I hope that they have learned that it is their differences that make us stronger, and that they should never feel pressured, as we are all on a different time scale and are all on different paths. The final question is how has Judaism helped you lead a more meaningful life? And to that I say Judaism has been a backbone in a more meaningful life. with the emphasis of life over all costs, ever-evolving interpretations by meetings of rabbis, and traditions steeped in gratitude. I believe that we should all put the lives of others and our own above all other agendas. We should have an ever-evolving outlook and be thankful for each day we are lucky to receive. To end my speech, I would just like to finish with a thank you to not only my family, my friends, and my classmates, but to everybody who's had a part in my journey so far and will into the future. To that, thank you all.
Max Mansfield.
I'll just leave it where it is, right?
Because I'm short.
As I look around at all the familiar faces here today, I can't express how grateful I am to have had the opportunity to grow up in a Jewish community like the one here in El Paso. You know, being confirmed has always just kind of been something, that I've thought about ever since my older brother Ben got confirmed. But at that time, I had no idea the kind of connections and friendships that I would share with my fellow confirmands. And although the classrooms haven't been full on Sunday like they normally would be, the unique experience offered to all of us here at Temple Mount Sinai is unlike anything else. The opportunity to learn and teach, and learn to teach, I guess, is something that I'm so glad that all of us decided to take. And while it was a ride with its fair share of bumps, I think I can confidently say that working as a Madrahim is an experience that all of us are thankful for. My Jewish experience was completely shifted by my time here. Being a student to seeing new ones coming in every day has tied education and Judaism forever in my mind. Sunday mornings became infinitely more exciting as I became a Madri, wondering which young student would shock me with thought-provoking conversation about Judaic values. And who could forget about confirmation meetings over lunch? That's what I think epitomizes Judaism. A meeting of a powerful desire to learn and hundreds of years' worth of teachers dedicated to Torah. Our study here at Temple connects us to all Jews that have ever been and all Jews that will be. And that's something that I'm eternally thankful for.
Riley, minor.
That's a good height. So, most people say that the relationship to their Jewish identity started when they reached their B'nai Mitzvah. Well, it may seem unfortunate that I can't say the same thing, mainly because I was an overthinker at the time and didn't understand the whole God concept. I'm happy it took me a little longer to find my path on the journey of what Judaism means to me. As many of you know, I'm a born and raised El Pasoan, and Temple Mount Sinai's community has supported me as I've grown into the young adult that I am today. While I started off as a shy, religious school student, you can ask Ellen Goodman about that, I've drastically grown up mentally, although maybe not physically, being that I'm only 5'2". But that's a different discussion. So today, as I stand here, I would like to begin by saying that I'm so grateful for the Temple Mount Sinai community who is able to be here, whether that's in person or virtually, and I hope you're still connected because I'm not monitoring. But in some way, shape, or form, you all have positively impacted my life and the lives of my fellow confirmees. Over the past year, I felt more connected to my Judaism than ever before, which is probably weird to say. In April of last year, I was elected to serve on the Nifty Southwest Regional Board as the membership vice president. While the entire year was virtual, I got to work with one of my best friends, Aaron, as we explored innovative ways we could connect teens, and that really allowed me to find the beauty within Judaism. Throughout our term, we were able to write and lead meaningful programs for teens across Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and El Paso. And we were able to engage while connecting and growing together as a kahila, or community. This allowed me to grow as a leader while challenging me to find creative and engaging ways to integrate Jewish values into programs and services, while inspiring the next generation of leaders so I could eventually pass the torch on L'dor Vador. If there's anything I've learned throughout my involvement in Jewish programs, it's that Judaism is centralized
among a community, as we all know. We are a kahila that prays as one, as we're doing right now. A kahila that celebrates as one, as we're doing right now. A kahila that advocates against injustices as one, like we did when we went to Litaken. And a kahila that joins to mourn and celebrate life. Of course, this list that I just mentioned isn't limited to those 4 activities, but while we have been stuck at home, we found creative ways to navigate our virtual and socially distanced world for all of these major moments and much, much more. Moving forward in life, I hope to take the meaningful connections that I've found with the Nifty camp and, of course, the Temple Mount Sinai community forward with me as I go off to Brandeis University and begin my term as the Nifty North American MVP and into whatever the unknown brings. So I'm very grateful for all of you here today. My mom, my dad, my brother who's not here, so he'll be watching this later, and my bubby, of course, along with everyone else, Rabbi, Carlos, Sally. You all have gotten me to where I am today, and that's all I have to say. Stay safe, wear a mask over your mouth and nose, and Shabbat Shalom.
Aaron Rosendorf.
Difficult to follow that one up, yeah. Well, here you go. What does it mean to be Jewish? I would argue that to be Jewish is not just to keep a strict kosher household or to pray 3 times a day or to even pray at all. I would argue it is more fundamental than that. It is learning through Jewish teachings how to be a loving, caring, and good person in this community and in the entire world. So pretty much, Judaism is about being a mensch. My time at Temple Mount Sinai has been defined by learning from so many different mention. From studying with the rabbi for my bar mitzvah, joining Nifty and surfing on regional board with the amazing Riley Miner, and meeting so many amazing people from across the country, and now being confirmed in this so meaningful community. I've been shaped into the person I am today. And it is through the Jewish experience that I've received my moral core. My Judaism is what guides me to live my life in service to the world. As Jews, it is our obligation to participate in the world. If there is something I hope to have passed on as a madrich, or to pass on in some cases to the parents who will pass it on to their children, it is that through confirmation and through all of this, I hope that younger students kind of find a way to stay connected to their Jewish community and to not let their Jewish journey just end with religious school. I know I'm not the only one to get their moral core from Judaism, and it is by applying everything that we have learned and to be like the piece of a puzzle that's making the world a better place. Something we all need to remember as Jews, whether you are working on your B'nai Mitzvah today or are passing traditions and teachings onto future generations. Judaism is about applying what we have learned into the real world. It's a mitzvah. It's a commandment. When we are young and we are taught to help and love the stranger, we now understand that we are commanded to defend and love immigrants, so many of whom are living in our community. When we are young and we are taught about tikkun olam, we now understand that we are commanded to help the lives of others by wearing masks and getting vaccinated. And when we are young and we are taught to love your neighbor as yourself, we understand that Israel's military kicking Palestinians out of their homes and being violent in their holy sites is inherently un-Jewish, and we are commanded to speak up about it. Speaking up is what Jews have been doing for quite some time, for millennia. Whether it's arguing over how to treat burning bread after you take it out of the oven, or today, when the Jewish community is marching in the streets to achieve racial equality, we started fighting over the minute. Now we are fighting for the profound. If I've taken something out of my Jewish journey so far, is that I will spend my life, to quote the prophet Isaiah, doing good, seeking justice, correcting oppression, bringing justice to the fatherless, and pleading the widow's cause. Thank you.
Over the past year, we have not had the typical traditional confirmation process. And so these students maintained and continued to connect to their Judaism from home on their own. I wasn't able to bring them together to make them prepare for this service. I wasn't able to bring them together to make them sit down and be quiet and focus, because they're so good at doing that anyway. And that makes me even more proud to present this class of confirmands to you. In this class of confirmands, we have future biochemists. We have an electrical engineer who might just solve the climate crisis, social justice warrior with whom I occasionally disagree, and that makes it even more meaningful and even better. We have perhaps future rabbis, maybe future cantors, but absolutely we have at least 5 future temple presidents. And I couldn't be more proud of you, because this last year has been tough for all of us. And you are an inspiration, and you are a guide for us and for our future. And so it is with profound pride and gratitude that I present this class, Temple Mount Sinai's confirmation class of 2021, 5781, to you, the congregation of Temple Mount Sinai, the El Paso community, to our leadership represented by our president, David Leffman. This group has expressed their commitment in word and in deed to the Jewish people and the Jewish faith, and I invite them to offer the Confirmance Prayer. If the confirmation class would please rise. Ready? Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
We have aspired at the neighbors and achieved. Our hearts are filled with faith. Or we said, God give us skills to climb and strength to climb. Today our prayers are connected. Adonai, you have given us the strength of will to achieve. But today, O God, give us one more thing, a grateful heart. Give us a wise and constant spirit, one aware of our debt to others for what we have achieved. You are the strength of our hands, O God, and the light of our will. All that we are and all that we may yet be, we owe to the creative power that you have invested within us. Even as we exalt in the success of our labors, so may we aim to be kind in thought, gentle in word, and generous in deed, that others may have cause to rejoice in our accomplishments. Give us a grateful heart and a loving disposition, that we may be your messengers of blessings to all of our people. In their pain, let us sorrow. In their joy, let us rejoice. Let us not be impervious to their troubles. Thus we will thanks to the blessings that have come to us. Blessed are you, God, our God, and you most messengers.
And now I invite the congregation to please rise, those who are able, to turn to page 7 in the pamphlet to bless the confirmands. Page 7. Dear God, we pray that the next stage of study for our students will be marked by continued meaning and growth. As Abraham and Sarah had the courage to march forward in the name of God, Torah, and Israel, so may you walk boldly now in the direction of our people's age-old values and ideals. We know that you will represent our community with distinction as you embrace the sacred responsibilities of an adult in our community. May you always know the support of loving family and wise teachers. May you, like so many in our tradition before us, ask questions, seek out answers, and come to further develop a Jewish identity that will be your own. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We praise you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with commandments and commands us to engage with the study of Torah. As a representation of our joy, of the sweetness that you represent and that Shabbat represents, we turn to page 5 in the prayer book to bless the wine and to bless the Sabbath day. Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרו למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהב וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, to life. As we find ourselves in the midst of this period between Passover and Shavuot, we turn to page 273 to count the Omer. As we count the days, 7 times 7, 7 weeks, one day at a time, we find ourselves on the 48th day. Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvah taseh shel sfirat haomer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom shmoneh va'arba'im yom, shehem shisha shavuot v'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 48th day, which is 6 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Page 282, Aleinu l'shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedola liotzeret breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishbechot la'adama, shelo sam chelokenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim. Achabim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. Page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing, a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294. For those with us virtually, I invite you to share the names of your loved ones that you are remembering this Shabbos in the chat as I offer these names on behalf of our community. And to those with us, if I mention the name of a loved one, I invite you to rise. We mourn the recent death of Harold Isaacs, Bill Dahlberg, Lily Smith, Francis Leannes, Marcelo Sines, and Sylvia Mirup. This anniversary week of their passing, we observe yahrzeit for Rhoda Aronson, Rose Aronson, Esther Sachs Benson, Adeline Blumenthal, Alfred A. Blumenthal, Cecil E. Brannon, Erwin Bremen, Edward Kaufman, Nellie DeRoss, Brandon Pierce Island, David Charles Ehrlich, Esther N. Fox, Willard Friedman, Fan H. Geller, Alex Gershowitz, Estelle Goldman, Ray Lipsky Gottlieb, Beatrice Horwitz Grossman, Ada Halkin, Rhoda Jaffe, Joanne Knutson, Simcha Kazakish, Abe Krantz, David Krupp, Abner Curtin, Sylvan Landau, Walter Mann, Sarah Mansfield, Alejandro Baca Olea, Berdella Payton, Melvin L. Potash, Louise Prancis, Marvel Schroeder, Alan David Schwartz, Lillian Stolaroff. Are there any names to add? We remember them. We remember those who have died in the violence in the land of Israel, people who love peace on all sides of conflict, are caught in the middle, and we think of them. We think of the ancestors of those confirmands and their families who stand before us, who have made them and shaped them into the people that they are, and who are with us thanks to the blessing of memory. We remember all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, as we stand together as one communal family. For Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal Shemei d'kudusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing and inspire us to live life meaningfully and well. As together we say, Amen. You may be seated.
Oseh shalom imromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru
We welcome Temple President David Leffman forward to offer announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi, Carlos, Elvira. Who's taking over? Very good job, folks. Very good job. I'd like everyone to thank us for our stream, to help us join me in thanking our streaming sponsors, the Rotwing family in memory of Estelle Goodman, Susie and Eddie Goldman and family in memory of Estelle Goodman, Fifi Heller-Keim and Boris Keim in memory of Joanne Knutson, David and Rose Schechter in memory of Erwin Bremen. Bob and Elaine Krasny in memory of Abe Krantz and Willard Friedman. Susan and David Novick in memory of David Allen Schwartz. Thanks to our confirmands. Are we doing this post or now? Wonderful. So I will do it, they will get their certificate, which there is a space for one other signature or none, that's up to you. We'll start with Mia Brezeño, which is over here. There is your certificate. Congratulations. Well done. Next is Aaron Rosendorf. There you go, sir. Thank you. Max Manfield is behind me. There you go. Patrick Farley is next. Thank you, sir. And last, and most prepared, as always. But I hope we're still streaming. Thanks for all that, too. And for participating in tonight's Shabbat services. Tomorrow, Torah study at 9:30, 10:30, online streaming for Shabbat morning service. Coming up on Sunday, join us for the small congregations Tikkun Liel Shavuot learning sessions beginning at 5 and probably lasting maybe till tomorrow morning, the following morning, Monday morning. Then you can slumber in at 10:30, and we will have our Shavuot festival morning service here in person. Masks, everything still apply. I'll have a little announcement about that in a minute. Sip and Paint will be held virtually Tuesday, May 4th at 6:30 via Zoom. May 20th, we'll have Adult Ed at 10:30 and in the morning and 5:30 via Zoom. Topics are concept of Judaism, the Jewish wedding. Meditation with Ellen takes place online via Zoom Friday the 21st at noon, and then we start the cycle all over. You can find Zoom and login information, Temple email. Thanks all of you for coming. Nice big crowd here today, folks. 60 plus. It's very nice. Thanks for coming. Please join us again. I do have one more brief announcement. I'm going to read it on my phone, believe it or not, because I didn't type it up in here. But as everyone knows, the COVID things are changing and we're moving forward, so that's good. We've made some movement in how we're going to handle things. So as a reward for coming this evening and going forward, we are going to do Kiddush and Hamotzi after the service outside, subject to the only following changes. Limited food distribution and consumption at outdoor gatherings will be allowed, where participants being served are permitted to obtain food and beverage and wear masks and maintain social distancing, please, while in line, moving from place to place. Shouldn't be anything different than kind of what you're doing if you're going out anywhere else. Once a participant is seated or in a location and maintaining social distancing, they may consume those items outdoors. We're still not going to consume indoors. Still figuring that out. I think everybody's still figuring that out a little bit. People may consume those items outdoors, is what I just to repeat, and until further adjustments to COVID-19 protocol are made. There will be no food or beverage inside temple spaces, but everybody's still here for Friday, and we're still moving forward. Well, the board will talk and discuss some things further on Wednesday, and then we may have some new announcements when we see you next Friday. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you.
I'll just point out, Riley, we're still streaming, so you're okay. If you don't know, Riley's been helping us to stream this service for 8 months, 6 months, for a while. A year? Yeah, wow. As Aaron has stepped in several times as well. That's true. We're still streaming. As you can see, I've been growing my hair out just like most of them throughout the pandemic. And we got these nice new fancy masks the day after the CDC made new guidelines, which is what I think our temple president was referring to. So please look forward to hopefully some new announcements from the temple leadership in the coming days, couple of weeks or so. In the meantime, we join together in song on page 341 as we conclude by wishing our confirmands well on their Jewish journeys from here onward as they lift us up as we celebrate them. We'll sing together, and then we'll join together for Kiddush and Motzi. Hopefully it wasn't rained out, so just outside the lobby doors. Please rise if you are able.
Lechilach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechilach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechilach. Lechilach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and I shall praise your name. Lechilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechilach. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechilach.
Mazel tov and Shabbat Shalom. Please join us just outside the door for Kiddush and Motzi.